And the first weapon is gonna be the mutator. The mutator is a gun that literally that's very good for crowd control. So basically, like you're fighting this alien race called the Chimera, and then the Chimera, they have a different variants, of them. But this gun shootouts are like some sort of a sphere or a spore that causes the enemies to get sick. And then the enemies, and once they're infected, they will run into their teammates. And then this allows for good crowd control. You can take out big waves of them. And now there is a limited ammo with this gun, right? And like what really makes it special is the secondary fire. Every gun has a secondary fire. So if you press R2, right? R2, and it'll the gun will release this cloud, right? This green cloud, this small green smoke, more as a smoke, and then all the enemies like in the area will get affected, and then they'll eventually explode or blow up. And yeah, so very good for crowd control. Now this weapon is only given to you late in the game when it's only 3 hours left in the game. Another one is going to be the thermobaric rocket launcher. So the thermobaric rocket launcher is this massive burst of explosion. It's from a prototype 2. Now this is a DLC type weapon. You can customize your character through the DLC, Radnet DLC, right? Back whenever it was released. But this thermobaric rocket launcher, it destroys tanks one hit. It destroys helicopter one hit. It will do a high damage to massive bosses. And as far as I can remember, I can't use this like in the final boss of the game, even though it makes no sense to. But yeah, the thermobaric launcher was extremely OP, very overpowered. The first prototype had a thermobaric cannon from like a tank. And but yeah, this one, oh my god, just so overpowered. And like it's very, and like you're already very powerful enough in prototype 2. You're already very powerful in prototype 2. And the amount of power levels you have the power scaling is just ridiculous. You also have something called the IZAP. So the IZAP, laser vision, which literally does insta kill. So it insta kills any enemy touches. This is very effective. But yeah, prototype 2 thermobaric launcher is. Next one is going to be the Electropylon, a driver. This is a weird type of weapon in that shoots out like a net of like this red, I don't know what it is, red electricity or some sort of red current energy. And this is really good for crowd control, and it does damage over time. It'll do a damage over time to bigger enemies, and if you have trouble, taking out some of the bigger enemies, they'll have lots of projectiles, and they'll overwhelm you a lot. But like with this weapon, and every weapon, there's a certain variant to it where the weapons get more effective over time, right? Like with certain stats and perks, right? But once it's like very effective, like it shoots out multiple nets or whatever, or like a one net with multiple dots with it, and this literally wipes out enemies so quickly. It wipes them out so quickly. And like with the Electropylon, whatever it's called, it's kind of like some sort of assault rifle, a grenade launcher type variant, like a mix between the two. And you get this late in the game, similar to Resistance, that you get this weapon late in the game. And but yeah, it's very fun to use. It's very fun to use, and you get it during the second checkpoint. So there's 2 checkpoints like in the whole game, right? For the actual a main campaign or whatever story. And there's only 2 checkpoints, and you get this after the second checkpoint. And yeah, like I use it like in the final boss, and yeah, this is very OP, very overpowered, highly worth getting the Electropylon. And it has sometimes you might not, every time you die, it's a roguelike, right? This gun might not spawn. Other times like it might spawn, depending, right? There's like 9, 10, 11 weapons in the game, 8, 9 or something like that. But yeah, then Infamous Second Son had an ability in it called the concrete, the concrete or a concrete power, which you unlock after the game or during the final boss, unfortunately. But concrete ability packed a heavy punch, packed a very heavy punch, and you literally conduit. If you guys know Infamous, right? Conduits can drain certain elemental type abilities from the original series, Infamous One. Electricity, Cold War's electricity. Now Delsin Rowe, he has multiple different elemental abilities. But Concrete was very, great to use. Takes out enemies very quickly at the DUP. It takes them out so quickly. Takes out towers so quickly. And plus, the overall projectiles were so quick. They were very quick and very long range. Now, with this ability, compared to other abilities or other powers, right? The other three, you move relatively slower. Well, aside from Smoke, Smoke is the slowest power. But with this ability, you move slow. But yeah, just the rocket launcher that you get, or whatever it's called, the hand rocket ability or the hand grenade, this does a lot of damage. It does a lot of damage. And yeah, a Concrete ability. Another one now is going to be Splinter Cell Conviction at the EMP Pulse. The EMP Pulse is it's a simple concept in that this basically causes like a blackout. And Splinter Cell is a very stealth heavy game. It's very stealth heavy. All this has and sometimes you get spotted. You get spotted and then it's game over. But like with this, what it literally does is that it causes like a blackout. So it's just a pure darkness, and for some reason your character has adapted to see like in the dark, so you can see in dark areas, shady areas. But the enemies cannot see you like in dark areas. That's a simple concept, right? But like with EMP pulse, like it shuts off all the lights in the areas, and this gives you an advantage. And like it, this temporarily stuns the enemies. It will stun the enemy, and you can take out multiple enemies. And this does it, the great thing of this one and Blacklist. I did the great thing of taking out multiple enemies like at once, like with a multi-target system. And you just take out one enemy after the other, and yeah, very quick take on. And like with this EMP pulse ability, that really helps with that. Yeah, so overpowered fun abilities slash weapons to use like in games. This is only part 1, guys. So part 2 coming out soon. So please like, share, subscribe. Leave down below any suggestions for overpowered abilities or weapons. Thank you.